Kentucky prosecutor accused of trading favors for meth and sex pleads guilty to federal charge. Let the good times roll. See, I expect this type of behavior from cops. I even expect this type of behavior from judges, but not prosecutors. Prosecutors are supposed to be the tip of the spear. Their whole career is based on keeping criminals in check, not banging them for drugs and favors to look the other way. That sounds like something a politician would do. But no matter how much something doesn't make any sense to you, once you insert methamphetamine, it becomes clear. Crystal clear, crystal meth clear. A former felony prosecutor in eastern Kentucky has admitted soliciting sex and methamphetamine from people and using his authority to help them in court. Scott Blair, who resigned as Commonwealth's attorney for Perry County after he was arrested April 12th, pleaded guilty Friday in federal court in London to a charge of honest services wire fraud. The charge means he deprived the citizens of Perry County of the honest services he was worried about some other services he owed them as an elected official and used electronic communication to further the crime. Blair acknowledged in court that he used Facebook to send someone, Facebook is the police, to send someone a message in July 2021 pledging he wouldn't push to have the person's probation revoked and solicited a sex act from the person. Receipts, 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 dirty DMs, and another one bites the dust. Look at him. He looks like a party animal. If you told me what he did, if I didn't have this article in front of me right now, I would already 65 to 70% believe you. In a later message, Blair told the person, "You should know I watch out for you," according to an affidavit from Zachary Bryson, an FBI task force officer who investigated the case. The charging document against Blair said there were a number of incidents in which he used his position to recommend probation or participation in drug treatment programs for defendants rather than prison time, or refrain from pursuing parole violations in exchange for meth. The procurement of methamphetamine and sex acts is cited an example in which Blair had a defendant pick up meth for him and deliver it a number of times. It makes me ask the question, how many people were walking out of the courtrooms confused, asking, why didn't this person get any jail time? Why didn't this person receive any punishment at all? Then you got the prosecutor with his frosted tips tricking and blackmailing half his caseload. Hell, defense attorneys who are paid to get these people out of a jam weren't even that thirsty. Court records show the person received a suspended sentence and unsupervised probation. Unsupervised probation is where you don't have a probation officer. You report directly to the courthouse, even though he had multiple felony offenses, according to the charge. Blair's case moved from arrest to conviction very quickly. Asked about that, Blair's attorney, Ned Pillersdorf, pointed to the strength of the case. The initial complaint by Bryson indicated multiple witnesses had provided information about Blair allegedly soliciting meth or sex from people. What did he think was going to happen? That there wouldn't be any witnesses, that nobody would say anything while he tricked and frolicked his way up and down on legal system? I mean, you're keeping people out of jail, but at the end of the day, you're still forcing folks to do something that they don't want to do. And these are criminals. How trustworthy could they possibly be? Bryson also got access to Blair's Facebook account through a search warrant. I know his DMs were filthy. The search turned up numerous messages about Blair requesting sex or meth from people in exchange for using his office to help them. Bryson said Blair told U.S. Magistrate Judge Hanley A. Ingram during the hearing that he was quite confident the government could prove the charges. Blair said he is addicted to meth and feels great contrition over his conduct. He resigned as Commonwealth's attorney soon after being arrested and said Friday in court that he will give up his law license voluntarily and take steps to remove his name from the ballot. Me personally, I feel like half the people that work within the legal system across the whole country is either smoking or snorting something, but at least they have the common decency to call themselves up a prostitute and keep the shenanigans away from the workplace. Blair took office as Commonwealth's attorney in 2019 and was unopposed for another term this year. Yeah, he got a little too big for his britches. At the end of the day, this is a textbook example of how methamphetamine corrupts your judgment. Pillersdorf said the charge against Blair is punishable by up to 20 years in prison, but Blair's sentence will likely be less than that under advisory guidelines. Ingram said he would recommend that U.S. District Judge Robert E. Weir accept Blair's guilty plea. There you have it, kids. Scott Blair. Blondes really do have more fun.